against HQ again because they literally just lost today already. The extra game would definitely be something they want to avoid as soon as possible.
Well, whether Dandy's hiding something on Rengar or not, we'll never find out in this matchup because it has been banned out. There's the Thresh ban. FZZF went huge on that one last time around. A Kha'Zix ban actually coming out from EDG this time around.
Yeah, they did ban it against Pawn last time as well. So they're staying true. Same ban so far, actually. Yasuo and Kha'Zix both banned out last time. Do expect the Alistar as well, so that would be all three exactly the same for them.
Well, take it down.
The TDG's ban. But yes, they got the ban down to 2.
Yeah, they picked the same though. Sorry, ban the same. Yasuo, Kha'Zix, Alistar, same as game number 1. Leaves Maokai open, as was in game number 1, but it was Edward Gaming that took it in their last encounter. This time, he's going over onto Looper.
And let's see about this Ryze. Edward Gaming have been prioritizing it very heavily, but it hasn't been really a big game changer for them with Koro up in the bottom lane. So we'll see, because they have locked it in the first round, along with the Kha'Zix. ClearLove, one of the things he did say last time around, stealing away Kha'Zix was a very good move by Samsung White, so he doesn't want to let them do it again.
EDG switching things up from the AHQ game, of course. Went for that poke, not going to go this time with that Ryze, and well, Kha'Zix may well play into it, but at the moment, Samsung White, how are they going to react? Will they lock in that Janna for Mata? He's rubbing his hands, absolutely will, and Twitch for Imp will follow.
So, you know, Janna definitely is really popular right now, but technically she has lost all the games today, I think, that she's been on. So let's see if Samsung can buck that trend. This is definitely a good combo for them, and a good takeaway from NaMei.
So one thing for Imp on that Twitch, if you think back to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, Samsung White versus Samsung Blue, they actually didn't run it as an assassin like you often would with obviously the Blade of Rune King. It was more a case of, we are all going to pile on and protect you and become that 5-man initiate. And that's kind of working out right now with the Maokai Janna.
They definitely do have the tools to create the very strong team fight with that Twitch towards the late game. Janna definitely a paramount pick for all the teams looking for disengage. And that's always good against Kha'Zix as well, both Janna and Maokai, as we saw in the last game. KOg'Maw Nami lane is extremely strong, though.
And it's the first time that we're going to be seeing something newish from FZZF. Of course, Janna and Thresh being big picks for him. And Nami coming out this time around. Let's see how this one all works out for them. KOg'Maw, of course, for Nami as well. For Samsung White, then, they obviously don't have the ability to counter pick that mid lane up for Pawn, so maybe they'll go something a little safer, or maybe not. I mean, Katarina we saw yesterday. Don't think that's going to be a pick here today, though. Something tells me that it'll be something a little bit different to that. Jarvan, though, for Dandy, with the bans and Kha'Zix going.
No Lee Sin, huh?
Here's Jarvan and FIzz as well, pick for Pawn.
Some more interesting picks here from Samsung White. And another thing we've gathered from group stages, they've played so many different champions, all
they can play anything
at every single position. Exactly. They can switch it up every single game here. Now, the FIzz, the possibility of split pushing is always there for FIzz, but he's all about quick kills in the mid game as well. So a FIzz plus Twitch gives you more possibilities of even picking off people later. A couple of different things that White could do with this team right now. They do have Jarvan to group people up as well if they wanted to get that spray and pray late game for the team fight oriented Twitch.
That's two very different hovers for you. Zed or Ziggs. I mean, they start with the same letter, but they are far from being similar types of champions. What's he going to go for?
Well, it looks like he's going to try and bully the FIzz early, take that range champion, either Orion and Ziggs, both very good at that. Ziggs also has the benefit that he can satchel charge backwards, and he's a little bit safer for the all-in from FIzz, even if you do have the Jarvan jungle coming for early ganks. We'll see how safely you plays this. Usually he does opt more for the farming and shies away from the trades. If he plays too cautiously, though, and doesn't try and punish Pawn, then a mid-game FIzz with decent CS is going to be a problem.
big pressured question marks on NaMei in this game. A 0-3-1 against AHQ is not probably the record he was thinking he would be coming out with. Very much a different player, plays for his team rather than that flashy assassin jumping around everywhere, which we've seen from him so far in these games.
Well, yeah, it looks like this time around he's looking to dive in here with Jarvan. Dandy and Pawn are going to have a big target on NaMei's head. Locking in KOg'Maw like that, you know, you do not have your own escape. Low mobility champion, sitting duck for Jarvan. Jarvan loves to go counter KOg'Maw, and if you're stuck inside that Cataclysm, it's the fish actually shooting you inside the barrel in that case.
And this is the game that NaMei has to step it up. This is the game where he has to go huge and, you know, actually push them through here and avoid that tiebreaker. Well, guys, before the game goes live, we want to, of course, remind you to keep sending your votes on Twitter for the team that you think will win. Use the hashtag SSWWin or EDGWin. Send those to @LOL Esports. And, of course, we'll be checking in as this game gets underway. Samsung White versus Edward Gaming. Samsung White being perfect so far, at least in results. I'm sure we can pick out a couple of little things that they will want to avoid going further into the tournament. Well, Edward Gaming, with that surprise loss earlier on to local heroes by now, certainly AHQ, have to win here to avoid a tiebreaker game for that second quarter-final spot.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting how both of these teams come out with kind of compositions that we did expect from them. EDG, as he said, they're all about the counterattack, and they talk about how aggressive Samsung White is, and they want to stick with the same strategy here, they said, and, you know, try and capitalize on the move that Samsung White is going to make on them early. Samsung White, they've got all this dive. Jarvan, Maokai, FIzz, all going to be looking for NaMei to take him out. We'll see if they can keep their cool and if FZZF can keep him safe.
Well, we have a pause coming in.
First one of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I love our new pause screen, but at this stage, there's not much going on it. Apart from the early items, which, well, there's not much special to really look at, so at least you get time to see the standard start in terms of items here for these players. Apparently, there's a slight audio issue here with Pawn, so I'll just be making sure that that gets sorted out before we get into this game. But EDG, how's the reaction going to be to them losing to AHQ, a team which no one thought they were going to lose to?
Absolutely, and if they lose this game, which is probably the expected result,
yeah,
they immediately have to play after this in a tiebreaker versus AHQ.
And that's two huge games, right? I mean,
yeah,
where do you focus your energy in this? Because, I mean, you've only got a certain amount of time to prepare for AHQ. They'll have obviously... Well, I say they'll have obviously done their research for Samsung White. However, they publicly came out and said, we're not focusing on Samsung White, we're focusing on the other teams because we just want to get through into the quarterfinals. And that plan has kind of come unstuck now. You
can never underestimate teams in group phase. They can always pull off one match, one upset. And today, well, we've already had two since we've been at the desk, and you could argue there was a couple this morning as well. Can we see EDG upset Samsung White and ruin their perfect group stage?
Yeah, well, one thing at a time for them. They definitely got to focus right here, right now on this game. Expand on that mid-game vision control that they know is going to be important here. Try and keep this early Jarvan pressure to a minimum. Try and control him, because Dandy, he's got the opportunity to really upset the top lane balance here. Maokai's great at setting up ganks, and with Jarvan having a gap closer of his own, early on, Ryze is very vulnerable. So it's either the top or the bottom lanes very likely here for EDG that could be under fire early. Need to keep their cool. As usual, you know, Imp and Mata not going to shy away from a 2 vs 2 opportunity. Twitch plus the Janna at his back will give him the confidence. FZZF right in his face, though, ready to trade.
No messing around, really straight in there. The supports having a go at one another. Imp lost a bit of health as well. And a very interesting problem. Two of the biggest AD carry names around with the biggest amounts of hype on them, I think, coming into this tournament. And obviously there are a few over in Group C and D as well, but Imp and NaMei, two huge names in AD carry role in League of Legends.
Plus, since we're looking at the bottom lane here, both junglers start on their red side, so they will end their routes near the bottom. Whoever's pushing up has to worry about the 3-minute double buff gank. A lot of the trinket wards might be saved for the side bushes if they're going to be trading this often. Looks like Mata's thinking about warding this river. Dandy does go up here and add some.
Ward down in there and making sure that they have vision of ClearLove, who, funnily enough, against AHQ, we saw him crossing that river 3, 4, 5, 6 times and stealing away Wraith camps. Obviously went down early on, being caught out in that scenario, as he also did against Dark Passage earlier on here in the group stages. But for now, it was Samsung White that pushed this bottom lane out, and they're going to go for a recall 3.5 minutes in.
Is this going to be a lane switch? It's got to be. They're going back early. No, they're going to return.
It's a roaming Mata, at least. He's heading up. No, just a fake out. He wanted to juke you, D-Man. He's running a circle around the Nexus.
They did just ram that wave right onto EDG, quickly back, get themselves that slight advantage. You can see the longsword being picked up along with a probably a couple more pots for Imp. Mata himself also picking up a chunk of wards as well. So, interesting.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep this in mind, because remember the last game between White and EDG? Samsung White, they focused up on the top lane, and ooh, now we have some focus here from ClearLove. He doesn't want to let the same thing happen again. Doesn't look like Looper's going to overextend himself, though. He doesn't have much of a reason. So, last time, White and EDG. White's plan, they focused up top lane with Danny, and he decided we're not going to care about Dragon at all. So he goes up there, they trade Dragon for the first blood. They get Looper on this rumble. Ooh, never mind. He's shoved out again. Kha'Zix is recalling. Okay, so they shoved out. Last time they focused on the top lane. They got the rumble ahead, and they gave up the Dragon. They didn't care about the early Dragon. Instead, White invested in their top laner, which it focuses gold on their top lane side and their jungler. Meanwhile, it spreads out the gold for EDG in that trade. Samsung White, they're all about what's going to happen further down the line, the consequences later of the trades that they make. So Dandy then repeatedly went up to the top side of the map and was able to snowball this rumble, which turned into a huge team fight presence for them. And they were able to win every single consecutive team fight because of this fed rumble up top. And they didn't have to give up any more dragons. This time around, though, he's hard farming. And ClearLove is trying to make good on his promise to help out his laners. Tried to go top. Now he's hovering mid.
Will he get an opportunity there? That seems to be the problem for this one. Looper was pushed back onto his turret. Pawn got the mobility really to dodge around, as we are going to see NaMei going for Imp, and actually Mata is completely out of position there. We're just putting a ward down on the top side, and EDG trying to be aggressive on that bottom side of the map. We did see NaMei go back home, by the way, after the initial recall from Imp, and got the workings of his phage.
That was a pink ward they were trying to protect there. Mata had been around and put that pink ward in that bush, and that is now gone. That's why they were being so aggressive, so protective. But EDG, they did a similar thing. They went back and they got themselves the Ruby Crystals along with that long sword. But the deep vision is there for Samsung White. They are very much covered. They're happy to sit back this far. Don't think they're going to be happy about that pink ward going, though.
Dandy's coming around, though. They're shoved up. He should be able to get position on this fairly easily. It would have to be a setup from Mata to get a good knock-up, though. They want to clear out this wave first, so when you're a jungler, it's easy to gank lanes that are pushed up because the position of your enemies is exposed, but the giant minion wave is hard to fight through. You don't want to fight through the extra damage of the minion wave, so they're waiting to clear it out. Then he went for it just as that ward timed out, and he got seen.
Ooh. Playful Tricksters out of the Void Spikes. Pawn getting a little poke, keeping ClearLove away. Does, of course, force Dandy away as well, because that ward spotted him by EDG in the river. And that means that Imp and Mata are pushed up on their tower right now, feeling pretty comfortable, though. Looper coming around. Perfect timing. Red buff spawns. Gets himself the ward on there, and ClearLove is coming straight for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the ward down, so they'll have the intel and they'll have the timer for it. But because they're handing off blue, there's no aggressive move here from white. They're going to continue on with their fairly passive play here in the early game.
Definitely a passive start to it. 7.5 minutes in, no first blood. The gold staying even. If you look across the lanes and even into the jungle, things are very, very close at this point. NaMei is going to step forward here. He's getting knocked up, so really just an exchange in that bottom side between the two teams.
Yep, looks like he wants a trade.
Yeah, it looks to want to have a bit of a go here at NaMei, but again, just stealthing in, not able to get too much from it. We did have Dandy on the bottom side, obviously, as the bottom side camps did respawn, so he'd be able to come down with this red buff. ClearLove, of course, will be in a similar position, so this could get interesting down bottom.
Good lane ward here in the bush too by EDG, so that a lane gank. Ooh, that gives away that they have a ward in there though. You can see the pings on that bush now. Now they know that there's a ward because they went for their harass.
Oh!
That means Dandy's going to try and swing around the side. Imp has hit level 6. He could try and get rat-a-tat-tat on the range. He already used it onto NaMei.
ClearLove needs to get here now. He's headed down.
Instead, they're going to turn around. They try to head off you there, force him away so he can't toss that Mega Inferno bomb all the way down to the bottom. ClearLove is heading down south. We are going to see the two junglers meet if they go in there, but now Koro being dived on by Lupa.
Yeah, good damage back though from Koro onto Lupa. Takes about a quarter of his health away, and Koro should be able to stay decently safe on that top side. I don't see Lupa just one-on-one in there underneath his own turret. That would be pretty disastrous in a game like this for EDG. Actually, Koro going for the Catalyst first rather than the tier.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give props to Lupa. He's doing very well with Maokai is by no means a lane bully. And he's shoving Koro into his turret repeatedly here. As you said, though, Koro not going for the early tier, going for the early catalyst. That's even a sort of defensive buy there for Ryze. Defensive start.
Pawn heading north. Spotted by the pink ward, though. They know he's coming. There's another pink ward in that bush. They've passed 2 pink wards, and that's buying time.
Dive and Dragon at the same time?
Dive and Dragon at the same time. They've drawn the attention. They know they've done it, and they still get the first blood. How the hell
and
did that
Dragon?
What a call.
White, please. Oh my goodness. They're going to get both of these here. ClearLove just sitting in his top side jungle while White take everything from them.
0 reactions from EDG.
Well, would you expect that? No, probably not. You see the mid laner going top. They saw him very early as well because of that ping ward outside of the red buff. And
they let it happen. As we said, Ryze is vulnerable to dives very early on. This is his mana stage, the mana growing stage for Ryze. Very weak. I mean, Lupa's been doing a great job in that lane, but shoves him all the way up to the turret, and the easy dive there for Pawn. Beautiful start here for White.
Showing once again why many have them down as the big favorites for the 2014 World Championship. And that puts them ahead here in gold.
It's got to cause some problems, too, for EDG. I mean, they were already feeling under pressure. They already knew that last time they wanted more pressure from ClearLove for the lanes. And for the top to go down like that to a dive after he went through a pink ward and to lose an objective at the same time, disastrous.
So, not only has... Oh, hello. Lupa flash. Wanted to get a twisted advance on towards Koro there, who didn't have flash of his own. He'd already used it a moment ago. They're not infallible. They do make mistakes. It is possible. But at the moment, it's Samsung White on the push. They're going to NaMei. They get the exhaust down. The Howling Gale doesn't quite catch on towards them. And now they counter it with a wave. Imp turns back around and runs back in.
So they canceled the teleport
coming as well.
They canceled the teleport, I think, a split second before NaMei even flashed. So they called that play off. ADG could see why they were going so aggressive, though. There is a... Oh, dear.
Oh, NaMei going to be focused there. Is Dandy diving in? NaMei in all kinds of trouble here. He will fall. Dandy picks up that kill. Not got enough to kill off FZZF, I don't think. ClearLove had started to move down as well. That will be kill number 2 Imp, of course, did survive that too.
And that's why you pick Jarvan instead of Lee Sin against KOg'Maw. No flash, he's going nowhere, he's dead. Lee Sin could do the kick back, but it's a bit harder to pull off. Dandy does not have to blow flash or anything to pull off a Cataclysm. Very easy kill there. It did sort of cost them their teleport though.
Yeah, they just cleared the ping ward out. Lupa, remember, did just use his flash, but they are closing in on this top. Red buff has spawned. Danny's going to possibly steal that one away. Pawn and Lupa, though, they're going in for round 2. This time around, Koro, he's sprinting. He's out of there.
Use for that one. They're going to look for this red. This all stems from that ward that they had there before, as ClearLove did get his own red buff.
5 members up in the top half of the jungle right now for Samsung White. They are going to step away, but this is desperately slipping out of control by EDG already.
Gotta say, Samsung White have not made a false move yet. Very, very impressive coming out here.
I'd say I'd go even a step further than that and say they've done more than everything right that they expected.
More than,
the dive to the top lane and taking Dragon at exactly the same time. Brilliantly done. They're going to get the tower here as well. This will be the first one of the game.
And they've already got the entire red side jungle littered with wards. They know where ClearLove is going to be by process of elimination. If he's not up on top side, they know he's bottom side. He's definitely not in their own jungle. They have the defensive ping wards. They have control of mid as well as top. Bottom about to go down now.
Could see a collapse here. We have both ClearLove and Dandy on that bottom riverside, but there's a recall from both Dandy and Pawn. Dandy actually will cancel his there as the mines come on top of him. I'm not sure if they've actually seen ClearLove in that rush. I don't know if there's a ward. There is a ward, so they've seen ClearLove.
Matt's trying to bait it.
A little bit obvious there, I think.
That's one way to bait it, that's for sure. Get that taunt down on him. And it's going to mean that EDG will back away, and ClearLove once again found wanting, trying to make a play, and it's just not working out for him because Samsung White are counteracting everything he does.
That all being said, you know, all these great moves from White, they are not, the gold lead right now is not something that EDG haven't dealt with in the past. This has been the story for EDG. Yes. They knew that White were going to make aggressive moves early. They said they were going to stick to their style. They're not going to falter. And they will play towards the
you're in trouble.
Team fights.
Dandy and Pawn closing the gap. They're going in towards Koro, and he's got nowhere to go. He's got teleport. Can he get away from this one in time?
Well, it's Flash the fish, but where are you going to go? He turns around the damage towards Dandy, who will go fairly low, but Pawn gets in there, and it's an easy finisher, to be honest. Meanwhile, Looper in the mid lane did take some damage from 3 members of Edward Gaming, but not enough. And that is 3 kills without an answer for Samsung White.
And look at this. 30 seconds for Dragon. White have shifted all of their vision down by the Dragon Pit. Blue side's fully warded up. They've got plenty of vision down here, prepped and ready to go. They're shoving the top side. They have pressure up there. Pawn can easily come back down or just stay up there and take the turret. Looks like he's going to clear it out and head down for the Dragon.
He may even come around the backside of you. He's got no vision up in towards that top half. White have got everything covered off. And at the moment, they have full control. They're closing in on this bottom half of the map.
All right, there is a bright spot for EDG. Since they have focused on this bottom lane, NaMei, he's got his Trinity Force. Big boost for KOg'Maw. The only problem is, Imp has also just finished his Blade of the Ruin King. So he's going to be quite a viable threat as well. There they are, they collapsed for that Dragon. As we said, it was already prepped.
Yeah, they'll just give this one up. No reason to risk losing more than just that Dragon. And funnily enough, they had a bit of an opening in the fact that Lupa's teleport has just now come off cooldown. He was walking from the base towards that Dragon. Yep. Whilst Koro did have his teleport available. And actually Lupa since then has gone up top and just in time to soak up the wave that Koro had pushed right back.
A lot of people head mid here.
Yeah, they're pushing on Pawn. They want to try and make a player towards him. He's still got that playful trickster available. He's just going to turn it around in them. ClearLove going down. In comes Dandy. Pawn gets the kill. He's going to run away from this one. Mega Inferno Bomb will find his target, and EDG finally get themselves a kill on the board.
Yeah, they exchange kills in a 2 versus 3. White are able to take down ClearLove, and now Looper's coming in from the backside. It looks like they won't be able to do much with the control that they have over mid, though. So the extra person here for White, not going to be that big of a deal. Both junglers, pretty even trade. Man, look at that vision coverage, though. It's not just blue side now. They've got everything. All of EDG's base belong to White.
Him moving forward. There's a big ward in that brush though, and that will get him spotted out. So EDG trying to fight back here, and you just, I feel like you can't sit back and let Samsung White make
Red buff timer?
Can't let them move in there and just strangle you out of the game. Again, we're going to see them moving in for this red buff for the 2nd time in a row.
They managed to close it out last time. Smite fight not even close. ClearLove didn't get around there, didn't have it available. While this is all happening, Pawn's getting free reign on the bottom. There's you looking to try and throw anything out, but he hasn't got Mega Inferno Bomb available. And it's another tower for Samsung.
Pawn has 180 plus CS, 2 kills already. 18 minutes in. This FIzz is ridiculous. Lichbane on top of Needlessly Large Rod.
Yeah, against the Ziggs in lane as well.
Yeah.
You're not able to really bully him away. You see him there trying to get on, but EDG a little too slow. Samsung White already out of there. Are they going to make a move? The blue buff has since spawned in, and now they're going to try and take that away. So not only have they got all the vision inside of EDG's jungle, they're taking away those buffs as well. And there is a dive into the top of them, and their first kill coming straight down. Dandy will lock up ClearLove inside of the Cataclysm. That will give Imp a kill. They're going to take down NaMei as well. This is a whitewash.
It's a massacre. That was all escalated so quickly. Samsung White just coming around the side. Imp's on you. He wants another. He gets another. It is 8-1 now, and Samsung White are in full domination mode.
That video package, the pros were not lying. White are the real deal. This is not even close.
Oh, he's got him.
No, just
shield. There it is.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
It was close.
Groans coming out from the crowd. They just want to see White bleed in some way. They want to see some crack in the armor.
I think that was the Chinese broadcasters next to us. They were really excited about that Ignite going down, but didn't quite land. Let's have a look at that fight again. Again, just going so well for White.
Koro, look at him bouncing up and down there. He doesn't even hit the floor before he's dead. Then it's a 4 versus 5. FIzz is next to NaMei. Dandy locks in ClearLove.
Oh, NaMei versus Imp. It's a 1-on-1, but it's going to be NaMei going down. Can he get away from this one? Takes tower hits. Doesn't matter. I think he realized he was going down there. He did have flash, but he didn't want to waste it.
He was farming some.
It's a kill for EDG.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, kill for EDG. Plus, it was a NaMei kill. So that's something there. They definitely want as much money on him as they can get.
Actually on wards there. 2 of them placed right on top of each other.
Oh, they're getting collapsed on.
Where are they going to come around? Then flashes in towards Matt and the bomb as well. We'll catch out Dandy, who's trying to dodge around, but we'll get over the back there of that Baron wall. We do have Pawn moving in from the tri-bush as well. Meanwhile, Looper, they're going to trade a kill for the middle outer turret.
Well, there's the crack in the armor. They got a couple kills. Still bleeding objectives, though. Another turret goes down. Outer rings, no more. Samsung White.
Gotta be honest, all of that seemed to me that Imp was just like, you know what? I fancy a one-on-one. I want to see how this Chinese #1 super laner AD carry is. And it actually went even, so we'll see how it continues. The possibility as Koro this time finds himself a FIzz in the top lane. Playful tricks, the urgent strike available. Blast him away, but it's all about the tower diving now. And Samsung White, they're just having some fun around the map.
See them once again inside of the EDG jungle, getting those wards and getting rid of everything that the Chinese side have just been putting back in. Meanwhile, Pawn, actually, Koro went decently toe-to-toe with him underneath that tower. Obviously, the tower itself helping out a little bit with the Rune Prism, but If you look down pawn, Zonya's into the Lich Bane as well. He's hurting, that's for sure. We also have him who now has his Ghost Blade on top of his Blade of the Ruin King. Now 1v1 will be a little less even next time.
One thing's for sure, Loco Doco has his work cut out, taking notes on Samsung White. They've played a plethora of champions throughout the entire group phase, really proving that they can play absolutely anything in any style of tactic, and it seemingly work. I don't know how you really read into what they do on the map right now.
That's really why TSM looks so devastated when they lost that game to SK, because nobody wants to play Samsung White. The further you can delay meeting up with White, the further you can go in the tournament.
Oh, look at this. He's going to go straight in towards FZZF. That is going to be the first one for him. Actually gets knocked closer to ClearLove there. A lot of damage from you. The bomb, wrong direction.
Yeah, wrong guess. Tried to blind shot that one. Imp taken low here. NaMei's going to try and sneak around the side. Samsung White still in full force, so there's 5 members here. EDG got to be careful they don't rush into this one. They're going to turn up the NaMei instead. Mana comes around the side. Dandy's just doing all of the damage. In goes Pawn, slides on through, and now Koro's going to go down. He's been pulled in. Pawn gets a second, and just like that, Samsung White get themselves another hatful of kills.
Let's just give a nice little golf clap there to Dandy for the EQ flash to extend and hit the knockup. Beautiful, beautiful play. Oh, 24-minute Baron, right on time. Or will ClearLove get in here with something to say about it? He's got flash? Nope.
Nope, not going for it. And, well, Samsung White extending their lead. They're touching on a 10,000 gold lead at this point. Both Dragons, that single Baron. And now they're going to extend the strangulation that they've been putting onto EDG. Actually, good damage here coming out from Yule for Samsung White to just back off. They're looking for another buff. Dandy less than half healthy. They might be able to do something. Tidal Wave going to come across. Dandy will be focused. A good bubble lands onto Looper as well. This should be 2 kills for Samsung White. Imp has stealthed up and gone away. 2 kills for EDG, sorry.
Imp was off the side, sizing that one up. He's like, well, I've got my ultimate. I'm not sure I can take them yet, though. And that is Edward Gaming picking themselves up 2 kills and a dragon. And this is a problem sometimes with Samsung.
There it is.
They get a little overconfident.
EQ flash, double the knockup, double the kills right here. We all know the outcome of this one.
Yeah.
But really, why don't we go back to what just happened here for EDG? Because they just got not only the 2 kills, but perfect timing for Dragon. So they cleaned up some experience, some catch-up experience. You get the bonus there since they're out-leveled right now. And a nice bit of pocket change.
Oh, Imp is going wandering again.
On the hunt.
Oh, he's just
going for you.
Yeah,
he's found you.
Gonna get him, is he? Well, surely underneath the tower, flashes in for it, and you will be able to walk away. Use everything, barrier, flash, to stay alive, and that is the wave clear basically gone there for EDG, and it means the inner tower.
Yeah, just like that. Talked about how he wasn't the assassin before. Absolutely is this time around. Of course, with that Blade of the Ruin King and Ghost Blade, he is hunting for targets, finds one, pushes a tower. Samsung White in full control once again. They are just going to turn the screws, push towards that top lane. Looper going to get himself a gigantic wave, and look at the ward placement. Samsung White have coverage everywhere right now.
I wonder how far back we'd have to go to see White having to actually place a ward on their own side.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. They might want to try and catch something here. Jarvan coming around. Nope. Only 3 members. Don't feel like the 3v5 quite yet.
I feel like Dandy's putting a good case forward for more Jarvan as well in the World Championships here. I mean, Dandy so far, I mean, if you look at his statistics from OGN in the playoffs, I mean, not exactly a big Jarvan player. In fact, didn't play throughout that in the playoffs at all. So you might have expected maybe more Nocturne to appear, the likes of those kind of champions, but really showing that, well, if you've got the skills with Jarvan, he can be an absolute beast. I mean, 9 assists right now out of 12 kills.
Yeah, so it's either just trying to show that he can play anything really, really well, or it's because of this KOg'Maw pick and because NaMei is their focus. So there's definitely good reasons for him to pick it this time around, just because it is so good at keeping NaMei in one spot for the rest of the team to annihilate. But yeah, man.
What are EDG doing? They're not reacting to this one. They know they've got a Ziggs, they can clear the way. Finally, they're pushing back from that bottom wave, but Samsung White have grouped in 5 members. They're pushing straight through. There goes Chomp the Waters. They jump onto you, and he goes down instantly. Dandy's forced away. They cut off to the side. Rat-a-tat-tat rips on through. ClearLove, that's another one down. They clutch on towards NaMei. He drops. FZZF the next focus. KOg'Maw gets caught out. There's the ultimate from Mana. Saves the day, and it's an 8 for Samsung White deep in the base of Edward Gaming.
This is just beautiful to watch. Pawn goes so deep in there. The last part of Playful Trickster, he flashes to extend the damage as well. Just putting on a show, these guys.
A little bit early in the game to actually finish said game, though. 30 minutes in, well, not even 28 minutes in, and the spawn time is still short enough that EDG will be able to come back out and defend what is left of their base, losing, of course, the first inhibitor now. And I posed the question before we started this one, how much is that defeat to AHQ playing on the minds of EDG? How much is that mentality that EDG actually had before this tournament, saying we're not focusing on White, we're focusing on the other 2 teams so that we can get out of the group stage and into the quarterfinals? It might be a mixture of the both, but we're going to find out soonish, because it looks like Edward Gaming are going to play EDG once again today.
Edward Gaming going to play themselves? Mate! Got your back! AHQ looks like they will have a match ahead of them, though. Imp does escape with his life.
They're coming in. Here they go. Looper catches on to ClearLove. FZZF comes in. Here comes Mana. Howling Gale through the run of them. FZZF locked down and taken out. It's a double for Imp as the rest of EDG flee for their lives.
Yeah, they're got a ways to go here, too. White definitely hot on their heels. Yeah, I mean, you really do have to worry about if they're demoralized here, EDG, this team, especially after... Oh,
Dandy's going in. I think he's taking a little bit too much there, but Guardian Angel on him. Bomb comes back. Meanwhile, Pawn has dove in from the backside. Gets the fish on you. Dandy joins in. He's going to come out of the Zhonya's. Don't think he can quite take Koro, though. He will pick himself up one, and, well... that is the shutdown coming in. Nice chunk of gold, because Pawn was 9-1-4. Meanwhile, Super Minions might just take both Nexus turrets. Not quite. No, it's going to be real close. Oh, last hit before they take it down. The Nexus is open for the taking.
And actually, we did just check in. The last time White had to place a ward, even on their side of the map, defensive ward, 16 minutes. From that point on, all wards placed on EDG's side of the map. 1650.
Oh, Imp fancies this.
2 versus 1, though?
2v1, why the hell not? FZZF first, possibly no. ClearLove, he's going to drop in there, dodges out of the bubble. There's one. Does he fancy the second? No, he's just going to back away.
Imp styling. Beautiful play right there. All he had to do, dodge the bubble. Well done.
And, you know, I made the mistake earlier of Edward Gaming versus EDG. But, funnily enough, it might be the case. If that AHQ loss is a problem, I'm just turning this one around.
Very wise, Joe. That is meta of
I mean, we heard it yesterday from QuickShot where Dark Passage had to beat Dark Passage to get through. This time around, it's a different scenario, though.
Really?
Samsung White are just demolishing them this game.
I think you raise a good point there, Joe. More of these league teams should take an introspective view and really look to improve upon themselves. Because the things that they said they wanted to improve upon were the early lane presence from ClearLove and trying to stop the snowball from the very beginning of Samsung White. That play where White got so much vision that they could actually make the call to send their mid laner top while getting an early dragon is exactly what EDG wanted to avoid. They wanted to have ClearLove try and support the laner so they didn't get ganked and dove early like that, and they wanted to try and stop the early objective bleed. But White are able to pull it off once again.
Imp looking for more, pushing the lanes, and it's about time that Samsung White decided to close this game out. They've just picked up the Dragon and the Baron. Now they're going to take the final inner turret. And it's just off at the side there. EDG not going to contest that one. And really they are pushed deep into their base. The inhibitor in the mid lane has respawned. Looper will clear out that pink ward and the rest of Samsung White will collapse in. Bottom lane being pushed in as well. Edward Gaming realizing this is their last line of defense.
You gotta say, Ozone, White, they came out with a mission. Group stages this time around. They wanted to make a point. Last year, they wanted to wash that away, wash it off their records, and they're gonna do it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, this is just a domination in terms of... Oh, there is bomb going in. Zonya's bomb. He got away. What? They need to kill the inhibitor first, though. That respawned a few moments ago. And Pawn literally just playing with his opposition at this stage. They're trying to keep them off the Nexus, but Samsung White going to push through, pick up another victory. It's a perfect group stage here for the favorites.
I've got to ask, can anyone stop Samsung White? Group C and D will be next week in Singapore, of course, but it's Team Solo Mid, the first team in their sights as they go 6-0 in the group stage. This team is looking unstoppable.
And boys, we are not